Alright, next round of the tournament. This is going to be the loser bracket finals. Whoever wins this one goes on to face Farm's team in the final. The map is Lost Paradise Island version number 42. I have no idea why you need 42 versions of this map, but it does look somewhat similar to some that I have played in the past, so I don't know. Maybe some people are iterating on it like they iterate on Gap of Rohan. There are pings going down, which are probably indicating mass extractors that are available to other players. Let's go ahead and introduce those players and then see what they do. We have got a Chief Jaguar in the very back of the north side. He is going UEF in the air slot, which is a little bit of a weird thing, but we'll let him do what he wants to do because he's a far better player than I. Blue Owl is going Cybran. Then we have got a Nexus of Reality as Seraphim UEF, the faction of choice for Massive on the bottom side of the north team. Over on the left, we've got Determination in the air slot versus a Chief Jaguar, which might be a little bit of a mismatch, but we'll see what happens. Then we've got Zlo over on the right taking UEF. UEF as well for Thunderchild. Then on the north, Blast Chilled as UEF. UEF by far dominating the faction choices today. We can each derive our own reasons for this thing to be happening, but what on earth? That actually has pathfinding. Why? I would have never guessed that a unit could go across that. I think that could do a lot to frustrate some newer players if they did not know that that was a thing. Very, very weird. This map is not completely symmetrical. So we've got a scattering of mass extractors around the edge here, then we've got two on the plateaus up top, then we've got pairs of mass extractors on this side. So this map has apparently been designed by hand. Certain aspects of it look mirrored, but no, none of it is, because the mass extractor placement and hydro placement is different on the north and south sides. So there would have to be kind of a study done into this to see exactly how well the map was balanced. But we're just going to take it for granted that there's about the same amount of mass extractors and about the same difference for each of these teams and roll with it. We got a Mech Marine over on the south that is going to move around the back side of Zlo's base and pick off an engineer that's trying to expand into those mass extractors. Then we got a scout on the north side, just kind of seeing what's going on. There was not an accompanying Mech Marine with that, and unfortunately the tank is going to miss it. Then we've got an engineer moving up through the center, grabbing a mass extractor and trying to get the manual reclaim on those edges. The Chief Jaguar going second air factory, and then a third air factory as well, built on the Hydra to try and provide some support from his team. Looks like people in chat are mentioning that UEF has the mighty broadsword, and that is why it is the faction of choice for air in a Chief Jaguar's case, and I would definitely say that that makes sense. Zlo moving around with the Mech Marine. He's going to get up into the back end here and try to kill off an enemy expansioneer. We do have air scouts out for Thunderchild, who has also gone for a T1 transport to drop the plateaus on the top side and get an extra 4 mass extractors at his disposal. I suppose that it's not actually a bad thing that this is passable terrain, because on the south side, this is all passable terrain leading into these two mass extractors. So it would make sense that you can get around both edges of this so that one side doesn't have an advantage that the other side does not, even though I guess it would be passing left to right for symmetry, so it wouldn't really make that much of a difference what this matchup did. Okay. 3 land factories going down for Blast Chilled, who is also moving out to the back mass extractors with a pair of engineers and planning another 2 land factories around the power adjacency on his air factory over this way. It's going to give him a total of 5 to work with. And then up here, we've already got a naval factory going down for Blue Owl very early indeed. And I think he may have misjudged this. We've got 3 land factories online. He's congregating most of his units over on this side. But you got to remember, this is passable terrain. So if you move your ACU into the gap and you don't have enough mobile units, you will get run by and you will get decimated. Looks like interceptors were able to pick off the transport coming out from Nexus. So Nexus is going to be totally denied, and all of these mass extractors will go to Thunderchild. but he is going to try to bring it back with superior air control later on. He does have 4 interceptors versus the 3 or so that are available in the center of the map. Of course, there are multiple people building air on the south team, so this might turn into a different kind of situation later on, but for now, we've got pretty strong air for the north side with Jaguar coming up as well from the back end. Jaguar dropping engineers out here for these mass extractors. Massive sending out a tank to chase down the mech marine that Zlo turned loose into the world quite some time ago and is now moving around into the back end of Blue Owl's base. But as we all know, a tank is never going to catch a mech marine unless Zlo stops it for some reason. I love this T1 bomber down here that is harassing this group of tanks, reducing the HP on the entire group one pass at a time, but unfortunately that brave little bomber is going to get knocked down by an interceptor, and that is going to lead to an air win over that transport for the north. So we can now decisively say that the north side has got the air control in hand. I'm not sure where that transport was headed, probably to this plateau right here to get that extra mass extractor, but unfortunately it did not make that bid for territory. We've got 3 T2s, 4 T2 mass extractors online for Determination, who is now into his 2nd air factory and rolling into his 3rd as he spams power around the outside edge for adjacency. Chief Jaguar on the other side has already got 4 mass extractors upgraded. That was a little bit sooner than Thunderchild was able to handle. Chief Jaguar also in control of 4 more mass extractors total, and he is working on his 3rd air factory. A little bit more conservative on his power build, it would appear, but he is still spamming, probably to get the power he needs to get this T2 factory online. Let's take a look at his eco balance. 460 power, stalling for 311. Oh my goodness, Jaguar, why you do this thing to yourself? He's still going to be stalling for 100 power. Oh no, he's not. 17 power once he mass stalls. That was actually quite nice balance. I take back what I said, Jaguar. I take back what I said. You could actually finish building that power generator and not build anything else. Just reclaim some trees to balance everything out. Looks like we got a paused upgrade. That is going to be... Why is it on the left arm? That's either Torps or Laser. I'm guessing it's Torps. Why are you paused? Very weird indeed. Bomber coming in on the T1 point events. Already killed off the engineer on that plateau, so we may see Nexus bid for the Mesa once again. And then on the front line, we've got Zlo unupgraded versus Massive unupgraded with a roughly equal number of units. Of course, Massive does have a point events at his back that he can fall back to, and that'll help him out in the long run. He should be able to hold this pass against Zlo. Engineers drop for Nexus, gonna swap this out for control, and that'll give him a bit of an economy boost. Looks like we've got the 2 outside players gaining the mass extractors in the back. So both of these players will be outdone by a couple of mass extractors worth of income, whereas Jaguar is going to be 4 mass extractors up on his direct opponent. We've got the T2 air factory online, should not be building these T1 power generators still, should be canceling these out so you can build a T2 PGen in between your factories adjacent to the one that you want to go T3 so that you cut down on your power costs. That would be a much better way to do this. 5 total at T2 with a 6th on the way. Jaguar up on the north side at 6 total with a 7th mass extractor, 8 total with a 9th mass extractor upgrade on the way. And he's also building his T2 power in a more proper fashion. So Jaguar is going to be head on the shift to T3 air. We've also got frigates out for Blue Owl, who is now building a submarine. Those are going to guard the likely bays where Navy could be produced. It's not so much that you want the Navy to be able to hit things later on, it's that you don't want the Navy to hit you. So he's going to get those frigates out, guard the access points to the water, and hopefully deny any effort by the enemy team to get ships in. Of course, once you get T2 destroyers online, or in the case of UEF, you get cruisers online, you're going to be able to wreck large portions of the base quite easily, so you don't want to give your opponent that opportunity. Looks like Zlo is slightly overextended here. He is behind enemy lines with an insufficient number of tanks to keep his ACU safe. He's also got massive closing in with an even larger group of tanks, and he is going to get his pathfinding screwed up by a collision with that front line edge. More tanks moving in. T1 Bomber trying to deal some damage to these units as it passes by. Slow at 3,000 HP and dropping. I don't think he's going to be able to save his commander. 2,000 and down. Even if he is about to get out, Massive might make the decision to just control K to ensure the kill, but there it goes. 4,000 HP remaining on Massive's ACU, and that is low. Ejected from the game quite forcefully indeed. Looks like we've got one more Mass Extractor upgrade remaining after this one. What does that total out to on the islands? Let me actually take a look-see at this. We've got, that's going to be 7, 8 Mass Extractors. Is there a 9th back here somewhere? There's not. So we've got 9 Mass Extractors, and then on a cheap Jaguar side, we've got 8. Okay, so I miscounted. There were not actually 9. Good, the map is not so imbalanced. Looks like Blast Shield is making a push, eliminating Blue Owl with T1 spam, so that's another player down, evening up the odds, though it must be pointed out that Zlo is a 2,000 rated player and Blue Owl is a 1,200 rated player, so it is not necessarily an even trade. Nexus of Reality caught far out in the open with 0 units to back him up though, and we have 2 ACUs pushing on his position. So I don't know that he'll be able to secure this base. He needs to get more land factories online as quickly as possible. He does have a T2 land factory up, so maybe he can get some Ilshuvas out as quickly as he can. T2 Mass Extractors all the way around, but he did not anticipate losing that teammate, so he doesn't have the production up that is necessary to control this landmass. We do have Swift Winds coming out for Determination. He's building a T2 power generator on the outside edge. Let me peek over here at his income. Nicely balanced, actually. That's well done there. But I still think he really should have used the adjacency on this air factory to build a T2 power generator, seeing as he is going to go for T3 air sometime in the near future. Swift Winds out, covering this entire area. Air control belongs to the South team. This will be a perfect opportunity for a Mercy. Everything on air and to Nexus. Losing air might be bad because of Mercies. Yes! This is a situation you do not want to be in versus an Aeon air player. Nexus pulling to the rear. This is about the time he should be building some flak and maybe some T1 mobile anti-air to deal with Mercies, but there has been no shift to Mercy production on the south side. I don't know why Determination is not taking advantage of this situation. Alright, Blast Shield moving back into the base. Looks like Thunderchild is going to stay with him, and that's going to give the advantage in map control to the left team, which actually does give the advantage in mass control to them as well. We've got a Mercy out now, and Swift Winds to follow. That means another Swift Wind. Why would you only build one Mercy? That's a little odd, not gonna lie, especially when that ACU is nearly full health. Over on the right side of the bottom portion of the map, we've got Massive in an engagement versus Thunderchild. He is simply not going to have enough units. He's going to be forced to withdraw. We do have a drop out here, though. I think this was the prior location of a group of stones that could have been reclaimed, and that is simply not the case now. I would love to see some Salems go into the water at some point, but I think that would be difficult since I just realized that there are no live Cybern players anymore. Cybern tech being given over would have been a good thing. And oh, Jaguar is about to lose these T2 Mass Extractors. He's moving his ACU over into the gap here to try and stay the tide of those T1 tanks. I did not even think about that this is an avenue of access into the rear of Massive's base. So good call from Jaguar, moving his ACU up to guard that. We've now got Mobile Flak in next to the Commander. Nexus going for a T2 upgrade. Yes. Good. And these ACUs are now camping it out. We've got a gun upgraded commander and a T2 upgraded ACU. Looks like we've got caps on all the T2 mexes, working on the last two. Second T2 power generator going up. And we've got a T3 air factory being built. Determination is either getting a massive amount of overflow from his team, or he built so many T1 power generators that he's actually able to float the upgrade versus his mass income. 67 and 1440 is his expenditure. Nope, he is definitely getting overflow from his team. So good for him on that, but that is a kind of Terabad build order. Tassable terrain somewhere here. I'm guessing that that's probably going into this area, and it was dragged over by one of the other teams. Maybe here too. Yep, we can get rid of that. Okay, cool. Swift winds overhead. Still denying air in this area. And blue, Thunderchild is producing interceptors like a madman, or at least he was until just a moment ago when he ran into some power issues. Over on the right, we've got multiple T2 factories online. Those are going to be building... nope, those are going to be building flak, actually, and paused on pillars as a T3 upgrade happens. Going for the Titans and Percival spam. T1 bombers out to help deny these units. Jeep Jaguar lost both of his T2 mass extractors, unfortunately, and that is going to leave him, I am sure, in a sea of despondent grief as he mourns his lost economic potential. We do have T3 air online, though. That's going to give him an opportunity to push broadswords once he regains map control. Oh dear. Oh dearly dear. Oh, that's bad. So this is a problem. The Jaguar does not have radar to catch. He is going to get dropped, and that's going to kill a T2 mass extractor, and it's going to make him even more unhappy than he already is. Oh boy. Okay, well, oh, nope, there's no artillery. It's tanks. Never mind. That could have been so much more effective if it was artillery. It would have been able to delete a T2 mass extractor pretty much immediately. Ilshibas and hover tanks moving to the north, wiping out these poor hapless T1 bastards as they try to go back and regain some of this map control that was lost. A Jeep Jaguar throwing out the grin there as he sees the damage happening on the north. A single T1 scout pestering that mass storage. Now the tanks are moving in, and he should be able to get up a gunship quite quickly indeed. I would love to see that shift. He does have a T3 mass extractor online and is going for a second, but tanks, of course, are not going to do much damage at all. Looks like that transport's moving back over this way. I don't see another jump queued, but that doesn't mean that one isn't going to happen. Swiftwind's engaging with interceptors over flak. This is a bad way to do your air fights, boys. You don't want to be stuck in that kind of situation. We do have some pillars moving up from the south, but I think there will be a sufficient number of tanks from the north side to be able to deny that once they get into the area. Still on this upgrade, massive on 53 mass income at 63 stall, so he's stalling out for 100% of his economy, trying to get this T3 land factory done, but also building other things so that his front does not collapse. I would love to see, he's got more reclaim happening in the back, but he has many, many T1 mass extractors across the back loop. If he had all those T2, he would be in a better position to get this thing done. I think that T3 rush would have worked in the old balance, but with the cost increase, it hurt just a little bit too much. We got multiple mobile flak up on the front. I am pretty sure that's in response to a Chief Jaguar being in the air slot, because they are, of course, going to expect shenanigans from him. ACU is moving not back across, it's camping in the water and going for a T2 upgrade on the commander. Looks like more T2 units moving up around the north side. Ilshib is going to be able to deal out some damage from range, eliminate those mass extractors, and knock that eco down a peg as Nexus moves into range. He's going to build a T2 shield generator just on the edge of this point defense's range, and then he's going to start edging in with his own PD as he pushes with the T2 units. So this could free up this position but as of yet, he doesn't have the numbers necessary to totally collapse this front line. Looks like units are moving up. He's going to try to Zooey the point defense. This might work out a little bit better than I thought it would. Shield comes up in the back, protecting that ACU. He's decided not to go for any of the point defense in that location. He's going to move his ACU up as he sees his success taking place. 2 pillars dropped on the top plateau, going to wipe out the eco there and the land factory. And Nexus is going to continue his move to the north. Blast Chilled coming in with the T2 and the gun upgrade. He's going to release an overcharge on those Ilshibas, dropping one, the other just out of range of the area of effect. And all of this is happening as we're seeing a push by Thunderchild on the south side. I'm going to kind of zoom that in there so we can see both areas. We've got Blast Chilled circling in front of the PD, but of course you can't dodge the Seraphim PD. Loads of flak fire coming in to equalize this air fight as Jaguar's ASF kind of hang towards the back. That is going to be a pretty decisive increase in air control for the north side, but unfortunately it is not a total grasp on air control. We do still have some swift winds down here. A couple of ASF are out and about, and then we have got a few interceptors over here. So Jaguar still could potentially lose air. T2 gunships on the south side. Those were harassing the mass extractors on this edge until Achieve Jaguar became preoccupied with things going on elsewhere. What on earth is this? Massive. Oh my goodness. What is that? Let's take a look-see. Determination has not got this scouted. He has moved his engineers over to this edge on an attack move order, but they are just out of vision range. Holy hell, this is gonna be bad. He's already got 3 land factories online. Now his hand is going to be tipped. We got the first engineer dying. We'll see what happens with the reaction here. If he starts spamming out gunships, he could respond to that quite quickly indeed. But Achieve Jaguar is in a position now to claim air control completely, having eliminated all of the swift winds on that edge. He's going to move his ASF down towards the enemy airbase. He's got his gunships harassing the mass extractors all around Thunderchild's base. And we may be seeing another shift in map control as the units withdraw on this edge, recoiling away from the Titans that are available on that corner. Some of those are battle damage, so I would assume those are what dealt with the units that were trying to intrude upon the base originally. Massive still at 59 mass per tick. Not the best income out of anybody on this map, and now we see the devastating wave of T1 artillery begin to move across the base. Looking at this from Determination's point of view, he still doesn't have a single thing tagged. He's just seeing some random artillery start to kill his outside engineers. I don't know that he's even noticed yet. He has placed an ACU move order out to the edge, but I don't know that he realizes the extent to which he is in danger. He's upgrading a T3 mass extractor on the front edge, and now he has scouted it. This is bad. This is super bad, and he doesn't have the tools he needs to deal. He's building T2 gunships, but this might be too slow of a response and done too late. T1 artillery splitting up to deal as much damage as possible all across this island. This is going to end the enemy air player. There is no way that he'll be able to recover from this, especially if Achieve Jaguar takes the initiative and moves his ASF down to airlock this position, although that would be to a certain degree rubbing salt in the wounds. The Jaguar still moving on the T2 mass extractors in Blast Chilled's base, just moving around the outside edge as quickly as he can, harassing where he can. Units fully retracted into this area. Blue Owl tagging, nice drop. Yes! Can I up a T2 to Omni? Probably looking for radar somewhere in this vicinity so he can look out into the map with a little bit more confidence. We've got a TAC launch. That is going to be from Thunderchild, who's got T2 and TAC on the ACU, eliminating mass extractors from Achieve Jaguar. Taking a look back down here, we've got a T3 mass extractor down, a half upgraded T3 mass extractor down, T2, 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 T2. 5 in total, and another T2 power generator gets eliminated. Build power dying as well, but we've now got T2 gunships able to control the flow of artillery out of that base. I really think that this was a critical error. If Jaguar had moved his air down into this area and eliminated these gunships, he could have allowed for a total wipe of the enemy airbase, but as it is, the damage is done. We've got 32 mass income on Determination's board. We've got 5.8 power income, so not a lot of power done, but yeah, he's on a single T3 mass extractor right there and one T2 right there. That was a devastating blow. Absolutely insane move from Massive. Well done indeed, good sir. That may have swayed the tide of this game. My mexes are getting TML'd, says Nexus. Yes, they are. They are indeed, because there is a TACCOM right over that away. We've got T2 artillery being built by Nexus. A little interesting point of fact, the T1 power generators surrounding the T2 artilleries are actually more expensive per DPS gained than building more T2 artillery. Also, they take up space in your base and they make it more explosive. So all in all, if you're going to build multiple artillery, you should build multiple artillery without the power generators involved. If you're only going to build one arty to harass a position, then you might as well surround it with P-gens, because it'll increase the firing rate to a certain degree, and you'll get the power income from that. However, grids like this are a bad idea. Even in the case of T3 artillery, if I'm not totally mistaken, the DPS output is better for building another artillery. No, I might be wrong on that one. I might be wrong on that one. But I do know that I've done the math on the T2 and the T1 power generators, and it is worse. Alright, an epic collision. We've got a UEF T2 Shield TACCOM versus a Seraphim T2 Nano Guncom with a whole lot of units intervening. This is exactly what you want to see from a team battle. It looks like it's gonna favor Blast Shield on this move. He's just got so much HP in that ACU, but here comes a broadsword. He is at a minimum going to eliminate the T2 artillery that was harassing his position. But unfortunately, between the broadsword and the Zooey spam coming up from the rear, Nexus is going to force him into a retreat. Just gotta stick in with it, kill these T2 artillery quickly as you can. Now they've got anti-air to build, because these broadswords, they are only going to keep increasing in number. I just realized that there's strat bombers circling around the south side of the map. This is bad news for this team, but there is a SAM launcher up now, along with a pretty good group of mobile flak and T1 anti-air. Both of those strats getting knocked down, but 4 T2 mass extractors were lost. Brink just add T1 P-gens around a T3 already, more shield around it, and less explosive. Yes, but you don't get nearly the fire rate increase from that. I don't know. That is something to be experimented with on another day. We got the broadsword and strat bombers now targeting Blast Chill to ACU. Of course, that is the more dangerous one to eliminate. That is, sorry, Shield Gen T2 and gun. And then this one is TAC Missile T2 and gun. He's trying to TAC Missile Nexus, and he's going to get a successful hit on the artillery and Nexus ACU. He's got another missile chambered. He should launch it while Nexus is stationary, but no, he is not stationary any longer. Units moving in on Nexus ACU. Blast Shield did make it back to the shield, and he's building another T2 shield generator. Hopefully he'll be able to get that up, but no, the broadsword is going to eliminate the shield gen and move in on the other, but there is mobile flak in the area now. 5 in total and more coming in from the back, I would assume. Yes, it is right there. That might not get there in time, though, because 2,500 HP is quite low for that ACU to be. Flak is focus fired on this gunship. HP is dropping rapidly, but there goes Blast Chilled in a fiery explosion, and his units are now going to die. Nexus up with a T3 Autumn, going to easily eliminate all of those artillery And that, friends, is all she wrote for that land battle. We're now going to see the slow and painful eradication of Thunderchild by a pair of broadswords and a pair of strap bombers, and then there will be snipages on Determination. That, I think, is the GG marker. Very unusual game turnout. We had an early death on Slow, then followed up by the death of Blue Owl, evening up the game to a certain degree, and I think it would have been a very even game, even despite the imbalance in the air slot, had that drop been detected. But that drop, I think, clinched the victory for the North team. Well done, Massive. Extremely well done. Okay, Titans moving up. Not going to do much good because the units are immediately going to control K due to the death of that commander. And now Jaguar is free to push out all of the units that he needs to snipe off that enemy ACU. We've only got a handful of ASF in the way. Looks like that's going to be 15 ASF versus a grand total of 20-ish, 19. So even on an attack move, that should come out ahead. The numbers are different enough. But a Chief Jaguar is going to run right by the ASF, which are going to fall in behind him, picking up a few free kills on those air units. Bad turn the second time around, though. If that first turn could have been capitalized on, Determination may very well have won air there. But Jaguar is going to clean up the mess. That is going to be that, and 3 strat bombers are coming in to finish the job. Determination does have, nope, T1 on the ACU. He's just assisting that T3 power generator that started to get built a little bit earlier. All right, triple strat. Should kill in one pass. No big dealio. Come on, just run it in. Run it in. You're good. Nope, he's going to retreat. Actually, it couldn't kill in one pass. It couldn't kill in one pass. There it is. He's got intel on the ACU now, and he will be in. I think it's only 3,200 DPS, something like that, or damage on the drop. Let's go take a look-see. That is going to be 3,000 even. So it's actually going to take 1 bomber and extra pass to kill that commander. There's 2, 1 bomber falling out of the sky, another bomber going down to ASF, the 3rd bomber going down. Broadsword moves in to try and deal damage on that ACU. There is, wow, there are enough ASF. So between the 3 factories here, Determination is pumping out enough units to slow his own demise. But we do have strat bombers coming in from the outside edge of the map. Unless those are picked off early, they will end up getting the kill. Determination taking another hit to the face. There's no way he can regen in time. There's a multitude of strat bombers coming out from Jaguar now, which I am sure are already targeted. I've told those back mexes to upgrade like 4 times, and they still haven't. These that you're talking about? Huh, that's weird. It's upgrading now. Maybe you have eco mod? Maybe you are abusing UI mods and it's automatically pausing for some reason. Maybe this is the answer to the thing that you're doing. Is that an Autumn drop? That might be an Autumn drop. That is an Autumn drop! It's gonna get on in here and kill some build power. Hey, that's cool. A T1 transport sidestepping ASF. Nope! 1 ASF. Plink. See, this is where you take advantage of the amphibious nature of your tanks and you kind of drop out here and then walk the tank in. Or roll the tank in, as it were. Because obviously, if you fly into ASF, you're most likely going to get shot down. Especially in something as flimsy as a T1 transport. Oh my goodness, he's actually building shielding. Why are you delaying the inevitable? Why? I don't understand your logic. 4 more strat bombers, but some of them are not going to get bombs off. Oh, nope, nope. Both of those are. And that one is. He's not going to make it back up to 3,000 HP. Are the bombs going to take out the shield, though? And bomb takes out the shield. Kills the T3 engineers underneath. But still 2,600 HP on the ACU. Dang it, man. Dang it. Are we actually going to see snipages? Like, at some point, Determination could theoretically snipe someone and even the game up. This is a thing that could happen. But win please achieved, Kappa. Before I make Artie. I 1x1 stratted. Yeah, you gotta group up the strats. It's not gonna work otherwise. Oh, he's building a Yathatha. That could be nasty. Just walk it into the base. There's nothing you can do to stop that. Oh, you're building a freaking donut. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? You've still got T2 mass extractors. What is your problem? Okay, he's plus 179 due to reclaim. Okay. You've got to get the T3 power generator online because otherwise you're going to power stall, so that makes sense. Now you're stalling. More T2 shields. I'm going to plus this and see how far we can go. Alright, ASF gathering in the middle. Nope, we can't go any farther. We've actually caught up to the game time. Okay, so gathering ASF in order to take back air control. So we've got a total of 29 ASF versus... Oh, holy mother of power stall achieved. Really? Really now? Really? Is that how we're playing this? Oh, he's going to move out with transports and reclaim everything he possibly can and try to build a freaking Maver. Why? Nexus of Reality is up here, also building a T3 heavy artillery. Maximum BM, folks. Maximum BM. Okay, so we've got 30 ASF on that side. Then on the other, we have Determination with 40 ASF. So actually in good control of air. Why? Why must you go for T3 artillery? Why can't you just kill him? This would be so much better. Oh, we have a contender. We have 3 Percivals on the ground. And there's no combat units on this side. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Okay, so he's been pinged. He's got it on radar. Novax builds quicker than Fat Boy. I think I found a new meta. Oh, yes, because the Novax and the Fat Boy had about the same stats. The Novax wasn't meta before. Oh my goodness. All right, so we are over 50% on the T3 artillery there, and then we are at 25% on the Maver. And look at Jaguar just out here vacuuming up all of the mass that he possibly can. Let's take a look at the reclaim numbers on him. 17,000. We've got 31,000 on Nexus, 23,000 on Determination, and 36,000 on Massive. If we take a look at Thunderchild and Blast Chilled and Zlo, we can see lower variations of that. Zlo barely getting any reclaim at all. But he did die pretty dang early in the game before the massive reclaim fields were available, so I guess that is pretty dang excusable. What happened to the Percivals? They did some damage and they got overcharged. That is what happened to the Percivals. Probably one overcharge killed all 3, looking at their mangled heap that remains. The donut is on the way, 8,000 HP. Hey, if he can maintain air control, he might actually be able to kill someone with that donut. But I wouldn't count on it because it appears that there is already SAMs being put in place. There are already SAMs being put in place. And the T3 Artie is finished. Nexus of Reality has got a Seraphim artillery. Let's see what the range is on that. It's going to be... Oh, wow. Okay, well, that's a problem. So he can kind of sort of hit most of the base-ish. Oh, he needs to move up and build it like right there, and then he would be able to reach, or even right here. He would probably be able to reach the entire base. Can you control K, or do you really want to drag this game? He's not the one dragging the game for the entire tourney. He is not the one dragging the game. Also, he gets a draw because the game automatically ends at 1 hour and 15 minutes. So if he can survive till 1 hour and 15 minutes, then he can get a draw out of it. But Determination is going to move to the front, and that, I believe, is a mistake because there's Autumns in range, and there might be enough Autumns to kill him, in fact. Nope, 2 overcharged there. Incoming artillery blow. I'm not sure where that actually connected, but we'll catch the next one. Where are you at, Shell? Incoming! Boom. Okay, so it's probably targeted directly on the ACU, which is now moving around erratically, so that artillery is never going to hit. But there it is, impacting on the donut. Determination microwing for his life, getting another overcharge out, but there's still 5 Autumns to deal with, which are heavily damaging his ACU. There's another 2, and he's now under fire from the remainders. Overcharge takes him up in HP thanks to veterancy, and then he overcharges the last. Okay, so we lost energy storage, but not anything else seriously significant, 27%. And so a little bit of HP missing on the donut, but not too terribly much. And we've now got T2 gunships dealing with the Percivals that are coming out of the water. Of course, air control is still in the hands of Determination, and if he keeps building towards the back of his base, that Seraphim artillery is not going to be able to hurt him too much. The Maver, on the other hand, is nearly done, because the Chief Jaguar has been reclaiming everything that he can get his grubby little mitts on, and I think he's gotten mass donations from the rest of his team as well. So he is currently at 76,000 mass that has been reclaimed on top of his 347 per tick eco. I'm upgrading my T2 max to T3. I don't have mass, my man. Yeah. All right, so we are at 82% on a Maver in a 33-minute team game. What the crap is this even? Percivals aren't going to make it a disturbing way into the base, although a Seraphim artillery shot is going to KO one of those Percivals as it comes up out from the shoreline. I am sure that Nexus is happy with that performance of his artillery. The rest of these Percivals are going to go down as they try to hit up some of the build power. I don't like the fact, well, I guess it is a good balanced decision. I don't like the fact that Percivals do not have any area of effect, because they overkill by such a ludicrous amount on T1 engineers, and they only kill 1 per shot, which is such an inefficient use of time and energy and mass and everything else. Alright, Autumn's going down. And the Maver is 93%. We're actually going to see a gigantic penis of doom in this game. I never expected that. I never, ever expected that. Determination is just kind of standing here taking it. Well, whatever, man. Whatever. This donut might get off the ground. Nope, 38%, but look at the actual build. He's very nearly got it, probably 80 to 85%, and he's only at that much HP. Yep, the Seraphim artillery is hitting it reliably. Okay, well that's a problem. That is a problem. What you got over on this edge? So we've got a Novax, what do you know, moving towards the south side. That'll give perpetual vision, and we have a second T3 artillery up for Nexus, even though it can barely reach the base. I don't know why he needs 2 of them, but here we go. The Maver is online, and it is about to fire the first shot. Boom! And away she goes. Let's see if we get a KO on the ACU in the first hit. Nope, there's more than 15,000 HP. So it's going to take 3 hits to kill this ACU. Oh no, there's 2 Seraphim T3 artillery trained on it as well, but the accuracy is very, very bad on those. Incoming Maver Shell. Incoming Maver Shell. And it's going right there. Well, that was anticlimactic. Herp-a-derp. Alright, next Maver Shell. Incoming! Oh, that was actually a hit there, so that killed all of those P-gens. That must be what he was aiming at, was the P-gens. Okay. 12,000 HP Donut. That's not going to get very far at all, yo. That is not going to get very far at all. Novak Satellite is up, now bombarding the rest of this. Nexus says, I can't stop it, Kappa. Well, yeah, Achieve just lost all of his air, but he is going to stop it. Why is this happening? Why is this even happening? Why did this game need a Maver? There was no reason for there to be a Maver in this game. And yet somehow there was. Just target the ACU down. The Maver can probably hit. Probably. Remember that... Oh, there it went. Okay, so he must have control K'd on that one. So... remember that the farther away an artillery is, the more its firing randomness comes into play. So the Seraphim artillery was literally firing at maximum range, where its firing randomness has made the difference between the shells quite high. The Maver, if it's firing within the range of a normal T3 artillery, is one of the most accurate. And even firing at maximum range, it's still like in the ballpark. But obviously when you're lobbing a shell that far away, you're gonna have some serious firing variance. That's all I gotta say. Well, GG. Well done, Achieve Jaguar, Nexus, and Massive. You are going to go on into the next match, even though you ended that in the most painful way possible. That is gonna wrap everything up for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like and share it with someone. If you want to support the channel, catch the streams, or join the Discord, check out the links in the description. Thank you all for being at least partially insane, and I will see you in the next one.